Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Adrian Broner. Look, I don't even know what to think about Adrian Broner right now. I think Adrian Broner has definitely lost a lot of fans, which he may or may not care about. But one thing is for sure, is Adrian Broner's demand. That's been lost, that's been compromised. So we keep talking about Adrian Broner and why he's not fighting. Some people attribute that to mental health. Some people attribute that to him taking, several losses over the last couple of years. Some people attribute that to him, which the consensus is he doesn't let his hands go. The consensus is Madonna messed him up. You know what I'm saying? He can't get over that mental block that prevents him from throwing his hands. Okay? But it looks like the reality of why Adrian Broner isn't taking fights or isn't in fights, it doesn't have anything to do with Madonna. It doesn't have anything to do with not being able to find worthy opponents. Has nothing to do with Espinoza not wanting to work with him, Showtime not wanting to work with him, Al Heyman not wanting to work with him, even Leonard Ellaby kind of looking and saying, hey, what can we do? Floyd Mayweather kind of long handle spooning him, but kind of feels a little sorry for him, trying to advise him on, hey, kind of take what you can, get back in the mix, get some wins, and you're back, be about billions. Adrian Broner's problem is this man has now it's a $5 million minimum that he wants for a fight. Remember, before this, he was asking for $10 million from PBC. He wanted $10 million for a fight. Look, when you look at Adrian Broner's fights, right? I'm eating a grape. Okay? Adrian Broner has consistently made 1 to 2.5, 3 million a fight. Okay? Now, Adrian Broner has gone on record, even if you watch the Vlad interview, and talks about the kind of money he was making for years. It may say 1 million, 1.5, 2, 2.5, right? He went on to explain that that's kind of like the guarantees. But then there was more money on the back end that he was getting. So Adrian Broner, per fight, was making probably more like, I couldn't find the exact numbers, but listen to AB, and numbers I did find was probably more taking home from the back end, pay-per-view, or whatever, right? Probably more like 2.5 to maybe $6 million a fight. So Adrian Broner was making real money. Now, when he fought Pacquiao, of course, Pacquiao made the $30 million. Adrian Broner made around 10. Okay, but they had sold, I think, 400,000 pay-per-view sales or something. So pay-per-view helped to kind of, bubble up their purses for the fight. But you look at now, sure, Adrian Broner he probably does have some stuff going on mentally. But with Omar Figueroa, that was a good fight for him to take. And when you look at how everything played out, he would have beat Figueroa. But it is what it is, okay? Whatever the issues were in his training camp, whether he couldn't lose the weight, he wasn't disciplined, mental health issues, lazy, whatever. It is what it is at this point. But when you look at the fact that Eddie Hearn, right? Now, Eddie Hearn, he's a shrewd businessman. And Eddie Hearn is trying to build up Conor Ben. They offered Broner like 2 to 2.5 million for Conor Ben. And they offered Broner he was offered a couple $1 million for another fight. Can't remember who it was. But he was offered a couple $1 million for another fight of a big name opponent. And Broner turned those down. What Broner said was, he's not afraid to fight him, but he said he's being lowballed. And he felt offended that any promoter, especially Eddie Hearn, because remember, everyone, to this day, Deontay Wilder, to this day, everybody still feels Eddie Hearn has that $1 billion. Eddie Hearn doesn't have that money. So Broner is like, look, you have money over there. So if you're going to make me an offer, give me $10 million. Give me, $5, $6 million. Eddie Hearn's like, no. With Broner, his profile, looking at the type of money he's made over the last couple fights, he felt $2 million, $2.5 million was a fair offer. Now, Eddie Hearn was actually texting back and forth with Adrian Broner. They have each other's phone numbers. And he said that Adrian Broner basically told him, F off. So is Adrian Broner ducking Conor Benn? Is he ducking these other top 140, 147 pound fighters? I don't think so, but I definitely think that he is delusional, thinking he still should receive $5 million minimum to $10 million minimum to fight. Is there a demand for Adrian Broner? Yes, there's a demand for Adrian Broner. Is that demand what it was when he first started off and like, Daddy brushed my hair, having a girl come to the ring, acting like he's going to marry her, then asking her to brush his hair? That Adrian Broner is no more, okay? And I think a lot of people are just fed up with his antics. Everyone's still wishing and hoping that Adrian Broner is going to get in there and let his hands go and just show a glimpse of what he was when he first started off. That guy was a problem. But he doesn't exist anymore. And as far as what happened to Adrian Broner, we all sat here and just watched, at least in the media. Some of you may know him, I don't know him. But we sit here and just watch. We watched over the last couple of years his life just spiral out of control. Now, Adrian Broner, from my understanding, is a great human being. Now, the one thing I will say about him that I really like, okay, because a lot of people have nothing positive to say about him, I respect the way this man's about his children, okay? Say what you want, him having 10, 11 kids. He loves his children, okay? So that's one thing, no matter what anybody wants to say about him, that he's, at least from what I'm seeing, he seems to be a good father, right? But back on boxing. I'm not sure what direction Adrian Broner is going to go anymore. I actually think his career may be over. And can Adrian Broner go out here and do exhibition fights? Is anyone willing to pay Adrian Broner to come and host a party? Can he still make $100,000, $200,000 for an appearance at a club? Maybe he can make some money, probably more around $10,000, if that. So I'm really not sure what the next step is for him. I personally, just from what I'm seeing and my understanding, is there may be a little bit of life left in Adrian Broner, but when you have this unrealistic demand for a minimum fight purse of, $5 million and up, it's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. And I would liken what's going on with Adrian Broner almost like what happened with Zab Judah. The difference is Zab kept fighting. But I'm not talking about as far as activity in the ring. Zab kind of stayed active. But as far as a boxer never reaching their true potential, in my opinion, and Zab Judah and Chris Bird are my two favorite fighters, right? In my opinion, Zab Judah should have never lost a fight. Ever. That's how talented he was. But he sold himself short by not being disciplined, wanting to be a tough guy, always talking about, Brownsville, I'm a corner kid. You say something about me, I'm going to put blood in your mouth. All the lawsuits he had outside the ring. So even at his age, he still talks. A little disappointing when I hear him talk, you know what I mean? Because we all had to evolve, but we're too old to sit here and talk tough and still talk like we're killers and be throwing blood signs and Crip signs and being in gangs and talking about shooting and like, what are we doing? God, first of all, that shit is never acceptable, but once you get beyond your teenage years, man, sometimes you gotta wake up. But to see him, a guy like that, still being in these environments and taking on these roles of a gangster, a tough guy, and bragging about that stuff, I don't like it. But that goes to show you kind of why a guy like Zab Judah, who to me should be undefeated, but to me lost a lot of the fights he lost. It's just no discipline. and just being easily distracted. And looking at Adrian Broner, you know what I really think hurt Adrian Broner? And I'm not going to say Madonna. Of course, he stopped performing to his potential like Zab. Okay, so that's the similarity I'm drawing. But what I really think hurt Adrian Broner is he became a 4-weight world champion. 4 different weight classes, right? And I really feel that he felt like he did it. You know? He's going to go into the Hall of Fame. He made boxing history. He's in a very elite group of boxers to have only done that. And I think in his mind, he's like, there's nothing left for me to do. And when anybody, no matter what profession you're in, once you check, almost like you check out, it's not a good sign. I think he checked out once he got those accomplishments. And also the fact that he got in there with Madonna, that didn't help his situation. So you look at him now, Adrian Broner needs help. I really think Adrian Broner needs help. I think he needs the money. I'm not saying he doesn't have money, but for his lifestyle, child support payments, legal costs, he needs help. He needs help. And it's been a couple of years since he's been in the ring. I'm not saying he's not making money outside the ring. I don't know that he's made wise investments. I don't know any of that. But what I do know is he's not getting $5 million for no damn fight. It's just not going to happen. Okay? And if he does get $5 million, it's because he gets lucky enough for somebody with a huge name to call him out for a fight, and whether there's big money on the table, a big pay-per-view event where the pay-per-view numbers can help and the live gate can help to bubble his purse up from whatever the minimum is to the minimum guarantee to that money that he wants. But I just, and you know, I'm trying to think outside the box to see how Adrian Broner can come back to the ring and make a quick $5 million. I mean, I'm just not seeing it. I'm just not seeing it. And what's really unfortunate about it is, you know, he had about billions promotions, and he had guys underneath him, Robert Easter, and I think Rashid Warren. And, you know, if Adrian Broner can't keep it together, the guys who depended on him and are loyal to him, they suffer too. So I'm not here to say anything bad or negative about that guy, but I just think for Adrian Broner and wanting $5-10 million, not wanting to take $2 million, I think with the point he's at in his career, $2.5 million payday is damn good money. But then again, Adrian Broner has to do what he's comfortable with, what he feels is best for him, and what he feels is best for him is for him to continue to demand $5 million minimums. And like I said, it was just a couple years ago where he wanted $10 million from Eddie Hearn to fight like Conor Benn. You know, he wants that money. If he's gonna fight Keith Thurman, Adrian Broner's gonna want $10 million. Adrian Broner will fight any of those guys, but he's gonna want to get paid, and nobody wants to give him that money. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with Adrian Broner, what direction he's gonna go. His career, in my opinion, is I think it's slowed tremendously, and he's gonna have to figure something out quick in order to breathe some life back into it, man, to kind of keep that career going. But right now, it's almost at a standstill. And I think we just keep talking about him because I think so many people kind of just hope that the old AB can somehow resurface. But I personally think Madonna took that guy away, and everything else that's gone on after that, it hasn't helped the situation. But that's the latest and greatest on AB. That's why he hasn't been back in the ring. He hasn't been out here. It's not that he can't get fights. He can get fights. But he has this ridiculous financial demands. And that's why nobody's messing with him right now. It's not that they don't want to help him, it's he's not helping himself because it's almost like he just wants to cash out. You know, he just wants to cash out. Hit the jackpot. That's why he was asking to fight Floyd Mayweather. I don't know if you guys heard the story on that. Adrian Broner did an interview where he was saying if Floyd Mayweather was a real big bro, right? Was his real big bro, really cared about him, Floyd Mayweather would fight him in an exhibition or anything, make 300-400 million, and give him 100 million, and he'd take the 300, and he'd be like, man, we're good. That's what Adrian Broner was saying, because he's saying if it was him, he would do it for his friend. He's like, but nobody wants to do that for me, and that's one of the main reasons he has an issue with Floyd Mayweather, because he feels Floyd Mayweather should have fought him or should fight him now, whether it's a boxing match or exhibition, just so Adrian Broner can get a quick payday. Quick payday, just so he can cash out, man. But that's the point of contention between he and Floyd. But that being said, good luck to AB. We'll see what happens. That being said, good luck to AB. We'll see what the future holds. Y'all keep cool. I'm in the breeze.